tree conversations again, waiting to see who would talk first. Of course, no one else did. Today we're going to continue our series on classic or vanilla World of Warcraft talent specialties and all that nonsense. Today we are going to do the rogue. As mentioned last week, there are a couple of classes that I typically play really deep, usually all the way to top tier talents, and this is one of them. I always pretty much spec heavily into combat.
You mean outlaw?
I forgot my eye patch.
Oh.
Damn it.
I guess we'll be real rogues then.
Yeah. If they wanted to change combat in the newer iterations of World of Warcraft, they should have done something a little more not that. In my opinion. Let's see, what could they have done? A combat rogue could have maybe been bumped to use mail armor, so they had a little bit more damage mitigation, and then they could have used banish and some of that, but not actually have a stealth of any real length of time. You know, it'd all be time limited because of the mail. Mm-hmm. And then they could have had I don't know, the ability to stand in the kill box and not die as easily. But that's just something I was thinking might have been better than friggin' silly pirates, but that's something we're not talking about. We're talking about classic and vanilla, and this might all get chopped out because John will be like, but so as I said,
the world may never know.
I typically go really deep into combat. The big reason is there are so many great talents in there. You can do riposte, which is a great talent in the third tier that you get after you take all 5 points in parry. And it basically, when you parry, it becomes active. You use it. It does a pretty good amount of damage, as I recall. Yep, 150% of weapon damage, but it also disarms your opponent for 6 seconds. Which may not seem like much, but punching people versus hitting them with a sword or an axe or something else,
it helps.
For 6 seconds, it's a long time.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage lost.
So that's one of the reasons I do that. I like that a lot. I go dual wield specialization. I typically don't take too many weapon specializations as a rogue. What was that? Mainly because you don't know what you're going to run into. I go combat so I can use a bunch of different kinds of weapons. If I were going to roll just a troll rogue, or not troll, sorry, but an orc rogue, I might get axe specialization, except they don't have axe specialization, but they do have fist weapon specialization, which is also, it's axes and fist weapons is what orcs used to be. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it still is, but it's what it used to be. And maybe that wasn't during classic or vanilla, but I want to say that it was.
They did eventually have it. I remember them having fist specialization, but I don't know.
I always thought an undead rogue, Forsaken rogue, would be good. Yeah. Obviously, night elf rogues have a lot of good ratios to make them really good at rogues. The improved dodge is one of them. Sort of the same things that would make them a good warrior make them a good rogue as well.
They have a harder detection. It's harder to detect them during stealth as well.
Yeah.
Which is why they have the active shadow melt.
Yeah, that's all true. And I would do, but my rogue that I played the most and that I mained all the way through vanilla, well, I say mained, but it was sort of a toss-up between him and my Shadow Priest. But I played a Troll Rogue and a Troll Shadow Priest almost exclusively through vanilla. Burning Crusades. And then it was in Wrath that I diversified a little more. That's not what we're talking about. So I take stuff like, I like that. I take Evasion or Endurance, which reduces the cooldown on sprint and evasion by 1.5 minutes, which seems like a lot, but because it is. I think I want to say they had like a 3-minute cooldown, but I don't remember for sure, so I think it knocked it in half.
Something like
basically. And then the specialization that Jonah came up with is actually almost identical, unless he changed it, to the way I used to play it. Because I used to go down subtlety, at least far enough to get Ghostly Strike, and then pile everything else into combat. But this time, this specialization, I didn't do anything in subtlety, but went deep into, well, not deep, I went into the 3rd tier of Assassination. I wanted to get improved slice and dice and
lethality,
relentless strikes, and lethality, and all of that stuff. Yeah, murder. I wanted to get murder mainly because it improves the all damage caused across the board to all humanoids, giants, beasts, dragonkin by 2%. Doesn't seem like much, but
that's a lot.
Over time, that's a lot. 2% is a noticeable thing. I think it's a good talent to have. Yeah, I used to get in subtlety. I think I got. Let me look. I would do Master of Deception, and then Camouflage, and then Ghostly Strikes, and then sometimes I'd get some other stuff over there. But I usually tried to get enough in Assassination to at least get improved Slice and Dice, because I use Slice and Dice so much. And as a troll, like we were saying, you have Berserk, right? Mm-hmm. Which increases
attack speed.
Your attack speed
Based off missing health.
And so between Slice and Dice, that I would also have another talent called Blade Fury, which increased your attacks a little bit. And then Adrenaline Rush, which is your top tier in combat. You could really do some crazy damage in a really short period of time. So that's one of the things I used to do. This is what I think I'm going to do. I think it's going to be 18, 33, 0. So 18 Assassination, 33 Combat, 0 Subtlety. Going to get Remorseless Attacks and Malice in Assassination. Murder, like I said. Slice and Dice, like I said. Lethality and Relentless Strikes. The Relentless Strikes is nice because it had I thought it had a 100% chance.
I don't know.
I don't know. You can't tell off the website right now, but I thought it was a 100% chance. It might not have been, but it was a really high chance to apply a combat point or combo point. I mean, with all your finishing moves. So you wouldn't. So typically, most of the time, you would always have at least one combat point on or combo point on anything you were attacking. So that's more or less the way I went. Improved Sinister Strike, improved Gouge, Lightning Reflexes increases your dodge chance, stuff like that. And then Aggression, increase the damage of your Sinister Strike and Eviscerate abilities. The Sinister Strike's really important, and I also got improved Sinister Strike, so basically Sinister Strike is your main
combo point generator.
And all that, so yeah, that's what you do right there. Or you do what Jonah did.
Hey, what I did was I went 15, 25, 11. 15 in Assassination, 25 in Combat, and 11 in Subtlety. I went enough in Subtlety to get Ghostly Strikes, and to get there I put 2 points into Master of Deception, which reduces the chance the people will detect you while you're in stealth. and 3 points into opportunity, which increases the damage of backstab, garrote, and ambush by 12% while you're behind somebody. And then I got 5 points into camouflage, which increases your movement speed while you're in stealth and reduces the cooldown of stealth by 5 seconds. And then I got ghostly strike. And then in combat,
Why did you take Ghostly Strike?
dodge.
That's right. It's a strike that deals 125% weapon damage, but increases your chance to dodge by 15% for 7 seconds and rewards a combo point.
It's on a little bit of a cooldown.
But you can roll, if you put it into rotation, into a pretty good rotation, your dodge gets a little buff.
Yeah, your survivability becomes
Better.
vastly greater.
Again, now you roll that in with a racial, like the Night Elves have for dodge,
Yeah.
and it all stacks together, and that's why those little purple were so hard to kill.
The little fairies. And then I went into combat far enough down to get Blade Flurry, which increases your attack power. I got Riposte, which
No, your attack speed
attack speed
by 20%.
20%.
In addition, attack strike an additional nearby opponent. That was kind of the cool thing, is that you could also you do that, and then you had a little, just sort of an AOE, but not really.
You had a little bit of cleave
The
damage.
AOE, yeah, it was more of a cleave thing where you're hitting one other person, but it was a good deal.
Yeah, it's a really strong ability. Might not seem like much,
No, it's an awesome ability.
but it is.
Totally worth it. Totally worth getting.
If you got 2 really fast weapons, and you've got Blade Flurry, and you've got improved Slice and Dice, and you're a troll, you're hitting so fast. Even if
Yeah.
your weapons aren't actually that strong, they don't do that much damage, they're hitting so often that
Yeah.
it's gonna amount to something.
So, sort of how that worked for me, as I recall, is your weapons all have a weapon speed. Haste and anything that increases weapon speed would modify that number, right? So if you had really low numbers, if you had 2 pretty fast weapons, and you popped all those, especially as a troll, I personally saw them below. They were 0 point a number. So like a good fast weapon back in the day was like 1.40, 1.60. But I'd seen them where they were under 1 point, and you were just, it was fast. It was crazy.
That's attacking multiple times in a single second
Yeah,
with the same weapon. So
Yeah.
if you had 2 of those,
yeah.
it's fast.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
But that was a long time ago. We don't know how the mechanics are going to shake out this time. We know that they say they're going to be identical to the way they were, but... And I'm hopeful that they will be that way.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go ahead and exhale.
Yeah.
That's all. Just saying. Not going to hold my breath. Carry on, sorry.
Okay.
Just to
Yeah.
commandeer your deal. I just played tons of Rogue back in the day.
Yeah, I didn't really play a lot. When I do play them, I suck at them.
I sucked at them too. I just kept going.
Anyway, I got improved Sinister Strike.
Yep, that's a good one.
For reducing the cost of the ability.
Yep.
Lightning Reflexes for more dodge.
Yep.
Plays off of Ghostly Strike. The higher your dodge, the
Yep.
less you're gonna die.
Yep.
Hopefully. Then I got 5 points into parry, also playing off of the super defensiveness of dodging and parrying.
Well, I mean, and then agility is your main stat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still have intellect. Yeah, you still have spirit, strength, and all that. And yeah, they all have a bit of an effect, but still, agility is your main. Higher your agility, the higher your dodge, and
Attack power and critical strike.
Yeah, so
And maybe something
all
else.
that junk kind of goes together. So
Yeah.
okay, carry on.
It all works together really well. I got 5 points into precision to increase critical strike, which you need in order
That
to...
increases your chance to hit with melee weapons.
Oh,
Precision.
I should probably get my eyes checked. Increases your chance to hit with melee weapons by 5%. I had
You
the
need a
number
bigger
right.
screen?
Thanks. I think I'm good. which you need to get dual wield specialization, which increases the damage you deal with your offhand weapon.
Yes.
Yes,
By 50%.
Yeah, I only have 4 points into that for 40%.
Oh, yeah. I took the whole thing. I went 5 deep in dual wield.
And then over in assassination, I have remorseless attacks
Yep.
and malice, which this one increases your critical strike chance by 5%.
There we go.
And remorseless attacks, after killing an opponent that yields honor or experience, gain 40% increased critical strike chance on your next sinister strike, backstab, ambush, or ghostly strike for lasts 20 seconds.
And as I recall, that actually procced fairly regular. That actually seemed to have a really good uptime and effect when you were actually fighting.
Yeah, anybody that you kill, that gives honor or experience,
Yeah.
which is most things.
And what I'm saying is like for the first 20 seconds of your next fight, it seemed like there were more crits than at other times, from my recollection.
It might just be just the next attack, the next one you do. Or it's all of them.
I don't know, mine doesn't. Oh.
I don't know. It says
Which one are you on?
Remorseless strikes. Attacks. What
No,
is
it
it?
lasts 20 seconds. It's I think for 20 seconds. Oh, on your next.
Yeah, it says on your next.
Okay. Anyway, the point is still, even if it's just one, that you get a crit on your second pop.
Yeah. And then which, 40% increased critical strike chance on ambush.
Or your ghostly strike.
If you have improved ambush, improves your critical strike by up to 45%, and then another 40%. Your next ambush is going to guaranteed be a crit, pretty much.
And it's gonna crit hard.
And it's ambush, so it's going to hit hard.
Yeah, ambush was a good weapon. Was a good one.
Yeah. And then I got improved slice and dice, which increases the duration of your slice and dice by 45%.
I think ambush might have been one of the ones that could only be used when you were behind someone.
From stealth. Ambushes, you can only use it from stealth.
But you can hit them from wherever. I think it does more when you're behind them, but you can hit them from wherever.
I don't remember.
All I know is
I'd have to look.
only from stealth.
That'll all be on the.
Right here.
Should be right there. Just kidding. Sorry.
Yeah. Then I got 4 points in lethality, which increases the critical strike damage bonus of your sinister strikes, gouge, backstab, ghostly strikes, and hemorrhage abilities by 24%. If you had 5 points, it would be 30%.
That's what I have.
And then I have remorseless strikes, which your finishing moves have 8% chance per combo point to restore 25 energy, which...
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. I'm sorry. No weapon specializations?
Thought about it.
Yeah.
If I were gonna, I would do daggers or mace, but I only have enough really for 3 in either. So I just put 3 in improved backstab instead.
And the poison talent in assassination is usually worth getting too, if you're gonna go a heavy poison build,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Both of those.
Yeah, those are both totally worth
The
getting.
one that increases the damage.
Yep.
Next.
So what I've done is gone for a 0, 21, and 30 build for a rogue. 0 assassination, 21 combat, and 30 subtlety. My whole plan for this build is to pretty much, as again, PvP, but I'm pretty much going to just sit there and kill squishies. So, priest, mages, warlocks.
Yeah, rogues.
And maybe hunters and other rogues. Now the way I have it built up is I have Master of Detection, Camouflage.
Deception.
Yeah, Master of Deception.
What did I say?
Detection. You're not detecting, you're trying to avoid being detected.
Master of Detection. Or Deception, excuse me.
No, still deception.
Camouflage, Elusiveness, Ghostly Strike, Innovate, Improved Ambush, Serrated Blades, Hemorrhage, Heightened Senses, and Deadliness. And the whole point of everything is to essentially just make myself more powerful, and while I'm trying not to die.
Yeah. I used to get initiative
Initiative, not innovate.
and subtlety. Is that what you got? Was initiative?
Yeah.
Did he say some other
He
thing?
said some other not initiative thing. Moving on.
Anyways, and then from there,
And did you get hemorrhage?
yes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So, dot heavy type thing you're going for?
You could avoid some of the stuff in combat, although I think there's some you would really want, and go sort of a heavy in either assassination or subtlety, and then put most of the rest of them in the other. Minus, like we were saying, there's a few things in combat that are really worth
having.
getting.
Yeah.
The dodge, the parry, the riposte, at least stuff like that is totally worth having. If you would, and you could probably go with those three, right? Those three abilities, maybe improve Sinister Strike, and then just come down to where you got the poisons in assassination, and then put everything else into subtlety, and your dot, you'd be really dot heavy.
And then from there, I went into combat. I got improved Sinister Strike, lightning reflexes, but only 4 points. Precision, maxed it, and then I got improved sprint, endurance, with dual wield specialization into
Yeah.
blade flurry.
A riposte?
No riposte.
Fool.
So, I don't plan on fighting anybody with
Face to face.
yeah, because with heightened
It's gonna be a
senses.
real rogue then.
There's
Yeah, with heightened senses.
A real rogue.
yeah.
With heightened senses, it increases your stealth detection and reduces the chances you are hit by spells and ranged attacks by 4%. More effective with heightened senses rank 1. So my hope is,
Yeah.
is to be pretty much fight everybody that has to cast, or other rogues, and hopefully get the jump on them first.
Yeah.
Does Will of the Forsaken get you out of the what is that deal the mages do, the frost?
Nova?
Is that what it is that freezes
The
people in
rain?
place?
Probably not. Because you don't actually lose control of your character, you just can't move.
That would be
It's
more
a
like-
root.
Yeah.
It's a root, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
I'd be more effective against priests and rogues with their fears.
Yeah.
Priests with their fears and rogues don't have a fear.
Sad though. Not a fear, but
Can't.
it's-
Yeah, if you're gonna do undead, then this sap works. Right? The getting out of sap works. If you're not, you
just-
get the hanger like this.
Oh no, I'm getting stabbed in the
Well,
kidney.
stuff goes around your head.
Yeah. Always fun.
No, it's a bummer. Been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole reason I'm actually probably gonna go Forsaken Rogue, just for that fact.
Yeah.
It's so strong.
If you're gonna PvP, Forsaken is hard to beat. Anyway.
I don't know what I'll do as a rogue. I've done troll. I think it's a pretty good combination. I really do. Forsaken have a great ratios that really sit well with rogues and with their playstyle and all that, in my opinion. Orcs, if they do have fist weapons in vanilla, which I want to say they do, I want to say they've always had axes and fist weapons, then they would make a good one if you were going to go deep enough to get fist weapon.
specialization.
Did you say specialization? Oh yeah, fist weapon specialization. But on the Alliance, everybody can be a rogue on the Alliance.
Yeah.
Humans have sword and mace specialization, and you can get sword specialization here and mace specialization here, so
Yeah, you could put
they've got that going for them.
you could put points into both of those and have one of each,
Yeah,
and then just win because humans.
Well, I mean, think about it. You could get it was easier to find a fast sword than it was to find a fast mace.
Yeah.
So you could have a slow mace in your main hand, a fast sword in your offhand.
Yeah.
That way everything's hitting about the right,
Yeah.
you know, about how we used to try to set them up.
Balance itself out.
It just makes sense that way for those guys. And then again, like we were saying, the night elves with their dodge,
Yeah. They would just be,
you know,
super hard to hit.
get some of these dodge
Abilities.
talents here and
Yeah.
bang, they're hard to hit. They just were. So
You had to expend a lot of cooldowns to kill them.
usually, at least the people who were good at it. So dwarves, they have their stone skin, which is handy when you're when you're taking a beating from somebody.
It vanishes on cooldown and sprint and evasion. You can pop stone form and then you
You
just
at least take less damage long enough for a little while.
Yeah.
And then what about the gnomes? Do they have anything that's good?
They got escape artist. That deal where they get out of roots and snares.
And stun.
So could they get out of
Yes.
the
Frost
ice?
Nova?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the good thing about
So,
being a gnome.
so cotton candy won't be held in place by your Frost Nova Star, dude.
Yeah. And the good thing about a gnome is they're so short that if you do spot them, they're gone in that minute.
Yeah, that
They're,
was-
they're so quick.
And that was
And
kind of a
it's
thing,
hard to
as I recall, that they were hard to see because they were little. And then if you're a Tauren and you're playing from a Tauren's perspective, you know, they're little ankle biters and whatnot. So
Yeah. Realistically, the Tauren should just be able to kick them in the neck, and they should die.
or stomp them in the head and be over.
Yeah.
Oh no, can't do that. Everybody played Tauren.
No, just nobody would play gnomes. It'd be perfect.
Anyway, so there's just so many choices here, though. I mean,
Yeah.
this is one of the harder ones in my opinion to choose. I like the combat because it gives you a lot of what I think is
Diversity.
good heavy hitting abilities.
Yeah.
Plus between the dodge and the parry,
A little bit of
gives you a little bit better survivability. But yeah, these are great, and this is literally one I think there's no end in the combinations that you could come up with.
Yeah.
You know,
There's no bad talent.
so yeah, there's so many good ones here. It's hard to say. Maybe I'll play more than one rogue, so I can try a couple of different things. That would be what I would do. I don't know. Unless I figure out how to become really amazing as a rogue, PvPing as a rogue, probably. Well, I can't say that. Because you can banish and you can do some other things. You can banish and sprint and get out of a bad situation pretty easy.
Blind.
As a rogue.
Yeah.
You can blind people.
Blind vanish sprint.
Gouge. Yeah, there's things you can do to not get dead in a battleground, which pretty much nobody else has. There's just so much you can do with this. There's so much utility. I know everybody wants to go, no,
But
this
yes,
is the
yes,
best
yes,
spec.
yes.
It's just not. I don't think there's such a thing as a best spec here. I don't know what else to say. Do we talk about all the classes? Or, I mean, everything in the
talked about
class we want to talk about? Is there any other abilities that are great we should talk about? Deadliness and subtlety, which is a 6th tier? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 is the only 6th tier talent. If you put 5 points in that, you're going to have an increased attack power by 10%, which is a big deal.
Which is what I got, because that's a lot of attack power.
Yeah, that's actually a good one. That's totally worth having. There's some really good stuff in all of these. It's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. Well, as before, we recommend you just kind of play with it and see. I
Yep.
mean, you may find that, yeah. What's that website? Wowhead. Yeah, Wowhead says this is the perfect spec.
Or Icy Veins.
Icy Vein says this is the perfect spec for what you're doing. You'll be awesome at everything, but maybe not. Maybe your playstyle doesn't work that way. Maybe the class you took, or not your class, but your race. Maybe the race you took, something else in here is better, like we were saying. The Night Elf is really going to benefit from all of the dodge that you can get out of combat and subtlety. So I still say
Play with it.
play with it, and that
Decide on
hybrids was something they really wanted people to mess around with.
Yeah.
It just looks like it to me, especially in light of some of the racials. Anyway, feel free to like, dislike,
Comment.
You can ignore us if you want. I don't think that's a thing on YouTube. It might be, but I don't think so.
I don't know.
Tell your friends, tell your family. Again, a billboard or a plain skywriting that's not drawing bad things in the sky would be fine.
Although it might be funny.
It'll definitely be funny, but you know, today everybody's got the emotional fortitude of a, I don't know, blade of grass. So probably best if we don't go there. I think that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
We went over races, went over the class pretty good, talked about things that we don't know. We got a little deeper into some of the trees than we normally do. But like I said, I played a lot of rogue during vanilla. I mean, a lot of rogue. I sucked at it, but I played a lot of rogue anyway. And I played a lot of hunter, so and a lot of priest.
So yeah.
I had a warlock, but I never really played it that much during vanilla.
I did.
Yeah, so that's that.
Yep.
I'm done.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm Talon.
Elijah.
Jonah.
This is B3 Conversations, and we're signing off.
Bye.